Hi everyone, and welcome to Back to School Night. This is Megan Loh, the principal here at Reidy Creek, and I am so excited to share with you a little bit about our school and our focus for this year. So for Back to School Night, I will be doing an overview presentation in the NPR where we'll go over some school-wide data and goals for this year, and then also have an opportunity to hear from our PTA. And then our teachers will have 2 classroom sessions for you to attend. The first session is from 6 to 6:25, and then there is a 10-minute gap in between for you to get to the next session, which will be from 6:35 to 6:55. And teachers will go over the curriculum of the grade level and any classroom procedures and special events going on for that year. So I'd first like to start off by going over our enrollment. So we were very excited to open a 3rd transitional kindergarten class. And so currently we have 62 students enrolled in that program. We have 94 kindergarteners, so we still have 4 kindergarten classes this year. We have 4 first grade classes with a total enrollment of 87 students. Second grade, we have 3 classes this year for 76 students. In 3rd grade, we have 4 classes with 93 students. At 4th grade, we have 4 classes with 103 students. And in 5th grade, we have 95 students, which is 3 classes. We do have a really wonderful and amazing teaching staff here, so you can see all of the wonderful people that are here to support your children every single day. I want to highlight just a few changes for this year. With the addition of our 3rd TK class, Mrs. Saavedra, who was a kindergarten teacher, has now joined the TK team. And Mrs. Baldwin, who was a 1st grade teacher, has now joined the kindergarten team, along with Suzanne Rocket, who is new to Reidy Creek this year. In 1st grade, Mrs. Baker, who was a 2nd grade teacher, has now joined the 1st grade team. In 2nd grade, we have the same wonderful teachers that we had in the past. Joining our 3rd grade team this year is Mrs. Desiree Brown and Mrs. Kelly Stawicki, who were both intervention teachers last year, but have now gone back to the classroom to teach 3rd grade. And in 4th grade, Mrs. Click, who had been a 4th grade teacher previously and then joined the 3rd grade team last year, is now back on the 4th grade team. And we have a strong 5th grade team finishing out our classrooms. We also have a few new additions to our school staff. So we have a new SAI teacher for our upper grade students who is Mrs. Kristen Lesso. She joined us last year at the end of the year and got to know some of our students, and so we're thrilled to have her back. We do have 2 full-time speech and language pathologists, Miss Camejo and then Mrs. Lambusta, who's joining our team, and then Miss Clemens, who's also been here for a very long time. We're thrilled to have such a wonderful team. And we have a new school psychologist, which is Miss Jessica Belmont. And so I first want to start by going over our attendance data. This is a very big focus for our school district and for our school in particular, and we really want to focus a lot on getting students here on time. So this first picture of data is around the number of students or the percentage of students that we had attending school on a daily basis. And so you can see that we made a considerable amount of improvement last year. At the end of the 22-23 school year, we had 91.65% of our students were attending every single day, whereas last year we were able to increase that to 93.35%. This year, we have set a school-wide goal to have 95% of our students here every single day. And so we really need parent help and parent support to accomplish this. The other piece of information I'd like to share regarding attendance is around chronic absenteeism. So in the 22-23 school year, Reidy Creek had an average of 30% of our students were categorized as chronically absent. Last year, we were able to decrease this significantly to only 17%. And so as a school site, we have also set a goal for this school year to reduce that even more and only have 12% of our students be chronically absent. Of course, we would love if that number were 0, but our hope is to bring it down 5% this year. And I know sometimes we feel that missing a day of school here or there, or a day this week, or a day this month may not really seem like a big deal. But I do just want to share these statistics because absences really do add up and have a significant impact on your child's education. So when a child misses 2 days a month, which doesn't seem like a lot, this adds up to 20 days a year, which means that over the course of their time in elementary school and middle school, if they continued this pattern, they would actually be an entire year of school missed by the time they graduate, which is very significant. And if you double that, if a student is missing 4 days a month, not only will they miss 4 days a year, which is around 2 months of school, but they also, if they kept up with this pattern, will miss over 2 years of school by the time they graduate. So we really want to encourage our students to attend school and to come every single day and to have that routine built in at home and at school to come, because it does have a significant impact on a child's academic progress. So this year we will be making a few changes to our attendance protocols in our school. We will be offering monthly classroom awards for classes that have the highest attendance. We also will be adding a Shining Star Award every trimester for students that have the highest attendance rate. Our school staff will continue to meet every other week to monitor attendance and to reach out to parents and help provide any resources to get students to school. And then the district will continue to send out SARB letters to families if there is a child that misses a certain amount of school. And one way that you can greatly help us is that if your child is absent from school for any appropriate or approved reason, please call the attendance line to report their absence so that it is excused and not unexcused. Next, I'd like to share our test scores from end of year from both SBAC and Reidy. This is one of my favorite things to share and to look at how our students did last year. So I'm first going to start with SBAC. So these are the state tests that our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders take at the end of the year. And they take this test in both ELA and in math. And so I've broken it up according to the 4 placements that students can score in, but I really am interested in looking at the proficient and advanced categories. And so I'm excited to share that in 3rd grade, 56% of our students performed proficient or advanced in ELA. In 4th grade, we had 66% of our students scoring proficient or advanced. And in 5th grade, we had 49% scoring proficient or advanced. So these are really wonderful scores. And I will show you the comparison from the year prior. In math, we also had very high scores in math. In 3rd grade, we had our students, 62% of them scored proficient or advanced. In 4th grade, we had 54% of our students scoring proficient or advanced. And in 5th grade, we had 43% of our students scoring proficient or advanced. And this slide here shows how our students within the grade level performed over the last 3 years of taking the SBAC tests. And you can see that in 3rd grade, our students steadily increased from 40% scoring proficient or advanced in 2022 to last year, 56% of our students scoring proficient or advanced. In 4th grade, although there was a bit of a dip down in the 2023 school year, they did bring it up and surpass how they performed in 2022. And in 5th grade, there also was a little bit of a dip from last year, but overall an increase from back in 2022. And you can also kind of follow the grade level cohort. So you can see that in 3rd grade, our students in 2023, 53% of them were meeting or exceeding the benchmark. But when those students were 4th graders the year after, that number increased to 66%. In 4th grade, those students in 2023 that were scoring 51% proficient or advanced was a slight decrease, but that relatively stayed the same from the 2022-23 school year to the 2023-24 school year. And then you can also look at math and how we've made substantial progress in math over the last few years, specifically from last year to this year. And we attribute a lot of that to our new math curriculum. And really the increases in all of these scores we attribute to our progress monitoring that we do for student growth, our strong intervention programs, the addition of the wheel, which allowed teachers to meet in grade levels and really collaborate and look at student data to provide strong differentiated instruction within their classrooms. And just to share our Reidy data, so this is how our students performed in the spring, but you can also see the more faded picture is how they performed in the fall. And so a couple of things I just want to highlight about our ELA scores. At the beginning of the year, we had 20% of our students that were at risk for Tier 3 and only 32% of our students who were scoring at or above grade level. But by the spring, our at-risk for Tier 3 students decreased in half to only 10% of our students, and we had 69% of our students performing at or above grade level. And off to the right, you can see all the broken down domains and the progress that students made in each of those domains. Similarly, in math, this is huge growth. At the beginning of the year, we had 24% of our students who were at risk for Tier 3, but by the end of the year, only 8% of our students fell into that category. And our students that were at or above grade level were only 16% in the beginning of the year. And then by the end of the year, we were up to 62%. And you can also see over to the right how students performed in each of the 4 domains in math. So next I want to share a little bit about our school-wide goals. So these are goals that I have for our entire school, all of our students, our families, and our staff. They were reviewed by the staff at our beginning of the year professional development. So we have 3 school-wide goals for the year. So the first goal is to strengthen our MTSS, or our multi-tiered support services, and our PBIS, which is our positive behavior supports programs in our school. And specifically, we're really working on implementing as a school a new PBIS curriculum, which is second step, and lessons aligned to that curriculum. And as a staff, we're really hoping to streamline our systems for monitoring our students and their progress, and figuring out new ways to provide small group interventions to students in class, specifically since we did lose our outside reading and math interventions. Our second goal is around collaboration. So my goal is to continue the work that was done in all of our grade level teams last year during those weekly collaboration times to really analyze data, set these instructional goals, develop success metrics, and then plan the instruction to carry out within their classrooms. And I also want to continue that we started this last year, to build a stronger partnership among all staff and stakeholders and parents to engage everyone on our campus. And then our last goal is around the district's framework for the future. And so really this year we want to, as a school, become more familiar with what this framework is. We dipped into it a little bit last year. And this year we want to really specifically look at the learner profile and all of the pieces of that, and really shift our teaching to becoming more learner-centered. And all schools in the district will be going through a redesign process over the next several years. And so our staff really want to lay the groundwork for that redesign process and understand what the process entails and when we might be ready to take that on. So I just want to highlight a few, some new and some returning programs that will be happening this year. The first program that I'd like to highlight is the Enrichment Wheel, and this is a continuation from last year. There is a few changes, the first one being that band is going to be incorporated into the wheel for 4th and 5th graders. And so in lieu of taking the enrichment classes, students will be able to sign up for a year-long band class. We also, instead of having 5 rotating teachers like we did last year, we'll have 4 teachers this year. And the 4 classes that we will be offering to our students are art, STEM that's specifically focused on environmental science, and STEM that's specifically focused in engineering, and music appreciation. And our wheel schedule this year will be all day Monday and Tuesday mornings. Next, I want to share we are continuing to do our ELOP and before and after school programs. These are the extended learning opportunity programs. Last year, the district as a whole had over 12,000 students that participated in ELOP and over 1,000 after school class offerings, which is a pretty amazing number. Currently this year, we do have a change in who's providing our before and after school programs. So we are working with the YMCA. They are serving TK through 5th grade students, and we currently have 60 students enrolled in the program in the morning and 160 students enrolled in the afternoon. And I know there is a wait list for this program, and the YMCA is actively trying to recruit and hire additional staff to allow for more students to participate, though that could take a few months. We are getting ready to launch our fall session of our after-school teacher-led and vendor-led classes. They will be starting the week of September 18th. Teachers will be offering classes that are both enrichment-focused and intervention-focused, which is a bit of a change. And classes that are intervention-focused, we will be reaching out to individual students we think may benefit from attending one of those classes. As I mentioned earlier, we also have a new social emotional learning curriculum that we're implementing this year. That's called Second Step. And it's a curriculum that's really designed to reduce impulsive and high risk and aggressive behavior. All schools in the district are implementing the program this year. And for elementary students, teachers will be providing at least one 15 to 30-minute lessons per week, with the last lesson of every unit being a performance task where students have the opportunity to demonstrate evidence of their learning. And then there's also games and videos and activities that can be woven in throughout the week. Students will continue to be able to go to the library every week with their class and check out books. Miss Emma wanted me to remind everyone that students do need to bring all of their books back, even if they want to renew them, but that if they don't bring the book back, it will be considered overdue and they will be issued a courtesy notice. We do not charge overdue fines. However, if a book is lost or returned or damaged beyond repair, there may be a fine issued for the price of the book so we can replace it. You are definitely welcome to visit the library after school from 2:40 to 3, and Miss Emma would love any help volunteering in the library, so you are welcome to contact her in order to do so. And then lastly, there's so many different ways that you can get involved. We have a really wonderful and active PTA that plans lots of different activities throughout the year that are both geared towards students within the school day and community building events outside the school day. We are launching a membership drive to increase the amount of families that are participating in PTA. So if you are interested in joining, you will hear more from your classroom teacher, or there's a QR code that you can scan to get started. And also you'll hear in your classroom all the different ways that you can volunteer, whether it's in your child's classroom or around campus, on field trips, during our Fave Art Festival, and the library, or other school-wide events. And I'm looking forward to a really great year and partnering with all of our families to make it an exceptional year. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy your classroom presentations.